Recently, the waiting area at the VA hospital had been painted a relaxing blue-gray color and was now decorated with colorful military-style posters placed here and there on the walls. Leonard Jones had recently closed his auto dealership and was looking forward to retirement and maybe to working around the house or even doing a little traveling. Lenny, as everyone called him, had met with his doctor 2 weeks earlier and was now coming in to hear the results of his tests. What he didn't realize was that this appointment would have nothing to do with his health and everything to do with keeping him alive. You see, Lenny had a long-standing secret that he kept from everyone who knew him, including his wife and family. That secret was now about to explode in his face like a dirty bomb.
Mr. Jones, you can take a seat here in the exam room and the doctor will be in shortly.
Just 5 minutes later, Dr. Richards enters the room with 2 other men, an Army colonel and a man wearing a dark navy suit. The guy in the suit immediately presents Lenny with an official badge by putting it up close enough to his face that he can clearly see the 3 letters of the FBI. What the hell is this all about, was Lenny's first thought, as both the colonel and the dark-suited man reach out to shake his hand and introduce themselves. Dr. Richards now proceeds to inform Lenny that the result of his blood work was in the envelope he was now handing him. However,
the reason you've been asked to come in today has nothing to do with your health.
So why am I here and why are these men here with us?
Lenny, we have an unusual situation here. I mean, you and I have known each other for a while, right? Well, these men, Colonel Bouchard and Agent Dunphy, asked me to call you in today to discuss a sensitive matter. I don't know how else to explain this, but there's a person of interest to the FBI that apparently you know.
She's a past acquaintance of yours.
Lenny was stunned for a moment while wondering who they could be referring to. Seeing Lenny's confused look, Agent Dunphy shows him the name on the dossier he had brought with him. Lenny had only to glance at the first name printed on the cover and he knew who it was. It was the woman he had had an affair with for more than 20 years of his life, and the woman he still loved.
Why in the world would a little 5-foot-tall lady like her be of any interest to you guys?
Lenny says as he looks at them totally stupefied.
Because we have reason to believe your affair with this woman has now put your life in danger. That's the reason.
A million questions immediately rushed into Lenny's head. Had these guys been watching her? Had they been watching him?
Okay, fellas, I need to hear the whole story here, and by the way, I think you guys are completely nuts. Our affair, which, by the way, is none of anybody's business, ended over 20 years ago, and there would be no reason for her to want to hurt me now.
It's not her that we're concerned about, sir. It's the people now coming after her that we're worried about. She's in serious danger, and so are you.
But why?
Lenny says intently, waiting for Dunphy's reply.
Well, apparently your lady friend has been busy these past several years writing a book they don't particularly want her to publish. In a sense, it's a book about them, some of the deep state characters. Unfortunately, there's a faction within the CIA that's there to protect them. Her novel must have contained certain key words that triggered their surveillance of her manuscript. To make a long story, they looked into her past and found all the phone calls that led to you. They are now planning on blackmailing her, with threats of harm to you if she goes ahead and publishes.
For several long minutes, Lenny sat there in silence, staring at the floor, and then he said,
You mean to tell me that writing a few revealing sentences about these people can get you killed? You guys are the FBI, damn it. Can't you go after them and stop this?
Lenny rails impatiently.
These people, as you refer to them, are globalists, sir, and they will not tolerate any of their secrets being exposed.
So what are you saying is that I have to move to another city and leave my family? I won't do it.
Lenny says, feeling his chest tighten and his heart race.
We think the best way to get them off your back is to fake your death. We'll publish your obituary and provide your family with a plot to intern your ashes up at the Veterans Cemetery. We'll alter your medical records to reflect your death and provide your family with a death certificate. You will, however, have to bring your family in on this, or not. It's up to you.
Are you kidding me? How can I do that to them? It will kill my wife and kids. They will hate me.
Lenny says, putting his face into his hands as the room begins to spin uncontrollably.
Here, take this. It's a mild sedative. You need this right now.
Dr. Richards says as he hands Lenny the pill with a small cup of water.
Lenny, if you want, we can set up another appointment here for tomorrow. You can have your wife and kids come in with you. Colonel Bouchard and I can explain the situation to them. We can't wait too long, Dr. Richards, because the bad guys, for lack of a better term, are already meeting with the author, your lady friend, today. I don't think they are going to wait too long before getting to you. Right now, they're watching you, and we're watching them, but time is running out. The assassin has already been activated.
When Connie and Lenny's son Andrew arrived, they both had concerned looks on their faces. Instead of being brought into a small office area, they were taken to a larger conference room where Colonel Bouchard and Agent Dunphy were already seated, and where Dr. Richards was standing, waiting for them.
Well, Mrs. Jones and Andrew, is it? Thank you for coming in today on such short notice. First of all, just to dispel any concerns you may have over Lenny's health, I want to tell you he's doing quite well. However, Colonel Bouchard and Agent Dunphy here need your cooperation in handling a situation that Lenny, and in a sense all of us, find ourselves having to deal with right now.
Would all of you leave us alone for a few minutes, and I'll do my best to explain this to my family in private?
Without hesitation, Dr. Richards, Colonel Bouchard, and Agent Dunphy leave the room.
Connie, Andrew, this is something I never thought I would have to tell you. It's something in my past that breaks my heart to have to explain now, but I have no choice. Many years ago, when I still had my dealership, I met someone that I ended up having a long-term affair with. We ended it more than 20 years ago. However, that relationship has now come back to haunt me.
Lenny says, leaving his wife speechless and his son so angry that his face was red as a beet.
Dad, you mean to tell me that you cheated on Mum, and for what, years? Why are you telling us this now? And why have you brought in these other men? For what? Protection or something? I don't get it.
Andrew says, becoming angrier by the minute.
No, that's not the reason. They're here because my life's in danger. That's what they're telling me. The woman I used to know apparently wrote a book about the deep state that they don't want her to publish, so they are now telling her they will have me killed if she doesn't destroy it. Agent Dunphy is from the FBI. His office picked up on what he calls chatter, and that an assassin from the CIA has been assigned to kill me. Agent Dunphy has a plan, though, that can protect me until this all blows over.
Oh yeah, what is that? Are they going to move you back in with her, is that it?
At that moment, there is a knock on the door, and Dr. Richards, along with the colonel and the agent, re-enter the room. As the men enter, Connie stands up while grabbing her purse.
So what you're saying, Len, is that the FBI and the CIA knew all about your affair, but I didn't? Well, I'll tell you what. I don't want you coming home tonight or ever. Mrs. Jones, Lenny must go home with you tonight. If their hired gun notices something different in Lenny's routine, he could attempt to act sooner than we anticipated. Right now, we have people already watching your home. We can't protect Lenny unless he follows his normal routine and stays home tonight. In order to stop their plans, we're going to have to put Lenny in a witness protection plan. But first, we have to fake his death. We can do this. We'll take care of all the details. We've done this before.
Agent Dunphy says while removing a nondescript cell phone from his attaché case.
We will communicate with you only through this encrypted phone. Trust me, none of the three-letter agencies will be able to hear what we have to say. So an ambulance with sirens blaring will be sent to your home early tomorrow morning to pick Lenny up and take him directly to the hospital. Once there, he will be given a disguise. Then he'll be taken to a safe place until a more permanent location, preferably out of town, can be chosen for him.
At first, on their way home from the meeting, no one spoke a word at all. Once inside their 200-year-old colonial, Lenny went into the kitchen and found a notepad and began to write down some directions. The note said,
"Follow me upstairs to the third-floor attic. No one will be able to hear our conversations up there."
Once upstairs, Lenny moved a couple of old chairs together, allowing Connie and Andrew to sit down while Lenny tested the top of an old chest with his weight and found it suitable. If the family expected a mea culpa confession speech, they did not get it. It was simply too late for that now. His sins had ended 2 decades ago, and there was no need to go into the reasons for his actions. However, Connie could probably guess why. Lenny had been an unusually handsome, rugged, manly guy who attracted women like bears to honey. His wife, on the other hand, had none of the comparative feminine beauty. She had gotten pregnant during their month-long liaison, and Lenny chose to do the right thing by her. That was the kind of man he was, but it was not enough to keep him faithful.
Andrew, I know you hate me right now. That's understandable. What I did was wrong, and I'm sorry. I've hurt you and your mom. It's best that I go away, probably to another city. Then you, your brother and sister, and your mom can get a fresh start here without me and away from me. Are you going to go back to that woman? No, of course not. That's over.
You know, Lenny, I never understood why you agreed to marry me. Except that I guess it was because I was pregnant with Andrew. I should have let you off the hook then, but I was too damned happy I had caught you. Well, I can't say we didn't have some good years, many good years. Now it looks like that's all over. It looks...
Well, it's not over for me. I can't let you move to another city, Dad. You two have been married for almost 50 years. Splitting up now does not make sense for any of us. Tomorrow, when they come to bring you to the hospital, I'll meet up with you there. You'll be coming home with me. No one will be watching for you at my house. You might have to sleep in the horse barn for a while, but you'll be alive and safe. I've got enough guns in there to protect us until this whole damn thing blows over, and it will. If they try and come for you, they'll have to go through me.
Andrew says, looking out the attic windows for the enemy he never knew they had, until now.
Do you want to take that chance, Andrew? Of course I do, and I will. Mum, is that okay with you?